Greetings and salutations and welcome back to Disco Elysium. I have had a quick explore in search of the dusty footprints that we were looking for, and they are here underneath the body. But until we have put a point into our visual calculus, which I can't see us doing anytime soon, we will not be able to explore it. So we're going to have a quick look around and maybe go to bed for the night. I'm sure that's how we transition the story from here. But we will find out. Why am I looking at this pile of roofing material? Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. Pull the panels aside. There it is. You see a shabby little door. What is this then? A tool shed. He peeks inside. Let's investigate. I do like to investigate tool sheds. Tool sheds are my raison d'etre. An empty tube of magnesium supplement. A pig's head. A cured pig's head. It looks mummified. A silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder. Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. Someone has taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere. Perhaps not. He looks at you. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, he points to the ladder in the corner. See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbour, no? A secret path the local kids use. Thank you for your observation there. The poster says, get out of the way or get fucked up. Oh, some money in a jar. We're only about £14 short of our rent for tomorrow, which is pretty good going. I'm looking for opinions regarding episodes. Do people prefer a short film episode of about 30 minutes, or should we keep playing longer and longer periods to get more of the story done in each episode? Because frequently it's... This doorway is going to collapse soon. It's turning into one conversation per episode, pretty much, which is possibly quite dull to watch. Postcard, Grand Couronne 37. This postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking the Jamrock Quarter. 13-storey buildings line the hillside like sarcophagi, an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last boom years. In 39, the project fails catastrophically, leaving behind an opiate and hepatitis B infested slum. Sounds beautiful. Now we can put on our tank top and get a little bit more physical instrument. That might be really helpful. Let me up. Let me up to this crate. Nosefed. Can we look at that from here? No, we can't. Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the rail. Man down! A trooper has been left behind the enemy lines. You could swear it's more of an instinct than anything else, but you know it's a cop's cloak. A cop's cloak? It's a cop's cloak! Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. He judges the drop. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day. Savoir-faire? Ah, our savoir-faire is very low. It's 0. Look around. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. Now that, motherfucker, is a huge crane. Yes, that's one way of putting it. He turns to you with a faint smile, then looks back at the crane. It's certainly an impressive achievement of engineering. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. He looks at the sad piece of fabric flapping in the wind. Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it? The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it, he looks over the ledge at the cold pavement below. It doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meters tops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you. What exactly are we doing up here? Oh, what are we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industrial harbour. They're bound to have information for us. I thought that was our intention. He looks around, wind rustling his hair. Or it could just be that we're exploring. He's thinking you've forgotten where you were again. We're going to not do it right now. We're going to have a look at what our savoir-faire is like. Oh. We've completed our jamais vu derealisation. Jamais vu, the opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new. Like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is the fundamental question. -1 encyclopedia, nothing is familiar. +1 XP for every orb clicked. All intelligence learning caps raised by 1. That's not good. That's not what I thought we would get out of that. We have little knowledge of anything now. I thought it was going to do the opposite for us. I genuinely thought it was going to potentially unlock our ability to understand the world a little better. So that was a bit of a cock up on my part, which is great. Now we had a that's minus savoir-faire. Okay, so let's take off our pants and see if that'll make a huge difference to our ability to jump across here. Oh, we need to click on the coat, don't we? It's low. It's low. Is there anything else affecting our savoir-faire? Oh, piss off. Minus savoir-faire. Okay, off you go. Is that going to push us up enough to get us across there, though? I'm going to give it a jump. Oh, yes. Good lad. As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses. Close your eyes and let your senses take in the world around you. Continue your voyage through the salty air. We'll let our senses take in the world around us. Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below. Martinez goes about his daily routine as you soar through the air. The loud voices of protesters mix with the engine sounds from the traffic jam. Waves crash against the pier and dense, salty sea air fills your lungs. Don't let go of the moment yet. The corpse is dominating the yard and the stench is nauseating. Even so far from the epicenter, it brings tears to your eyes. We'll take care of that body too. We'll take care of all of it. We'll continue the voyage through the salty air. Yes! As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realise it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. It must be the adrenaline. I knew you could do it, the lieutenant exclaims. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbour now. With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbour rushes back in. Marvellous. Ooh, and it's given us some good... Excellent. It's given us some good upgrades. Can we wear a coat? How do we wear a coat? Did we lose? Ah, we lost. Okay, we don't need the disco ass blazer if we've got our RCM patrol coat. Cool. What's this here, sir? Collecting rainwater. Can we enter this door? Is that a really bad idea? Will it just whoop us back over here? I have a bad feeling about it. Probably should have saved before we did that, but there we go. Oh, marvellous. Somewhere to explore. The radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. A punch clock payphone. An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change. I don't think we need to make any phone calls right now. What is this? Someone left the coffee machine on. Standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be locked. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers. It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this. Let's see what's inside. Open the drawer. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organised collection of brown folders. We'll browse through them. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Mundigrad and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Colset, Ila Delta and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. Anything interesting? It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. We have high volition. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everett shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everett's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled. Look, Kim, a to-do list with a list of errands for Everett. Everett Clare, probably, the head of the Debardeur Union. He inspects the note. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating, though. What's so special about this borscht? Code for drugs, booze, blood? Take another look. Remember, Leo, there's nothing interesting. Close the drawer. Coach physical instrument complete. Wait. How did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How did you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of a city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. Shut up, namby-pamby is a wicked reference to Drop Dead Fred. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins. Take your shirt off, Namby. Your skins. Maybe it wasn't a reference to Drop Dead Fred and was just saying the phrase namby-pamby. But the first thing that popped into my mind was Drop Dead Fred. And I'm going to look like an idiot now. But there you go. What have we got? A postcard Le Jardin 21. Let's have a look at this here postcard. This laminated postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the eastern bank is already fully renovated. The hillsides are lush with gardens and residences. Somebody's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Let's have a look in this here bathroom. Probably some drugs. Ooh. Some sunglasses. Some magnesium. And we've already checked this drawer, right? We don't need to look at it again. I would assume we don't need to look at it again. This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. Every worker equals member of the board is written at the top of the flyers. This is the door out, I would assume, to big tattooed muscly twat. Which we don't want to do, because we don't want to get our ass kicked. So, let's explore this way. It might be bedtime. It is nearly 9 o'clock at night. Numerous bottles of Commodore Red and potent Pilsner. At least 3 packs worth of cigarette butts. Snow is quietly covering the numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really hard up here. Wait, how hard? Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarette. It must have been pretty hard. Was this me? Well, the lieutenant looks at you, then the bottles. Yeah, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was. God, I must have been really miserable. Yes, the lieutenant agrees. This scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's move on. He turns to leave. What's in here? The night watchman's booth. This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads René Arnois. This is where René works. I'm going to look around. Search the booth. If you must, the lieutenant looks around. But please hurry, we're pretty easy to spot up here. Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organised. There's a framed photograph on the table. Take the picture. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in the street. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabiner uniform. The girl is very young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. René looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories. Why did you take the picture? The lieutenant asks, glancing at the photo. It's instinctual to collect evidence. Fine, but let's move. I don't want us being seen snooping around here. Let's have a look at that there picture. A black and white photo of a couple posing in front of a Ferris wheel. The girl is young and pretty. The man clad in fancy uniform and smiling. On the back, a very steady hand has written the words Revachol Fair, Summer of 91. We will pop our glasses on when it is necessary. Can we get down here? Is that a possibility? All around you, great machines in quiescence. Quiescence? Quiescence? Quiescence. White pine trees are printed onto the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. No. This. A composite eye of halogen lights watches you, emitting a low buzz. Crane control panel. A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Allumer and Éteindre are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. We're going to leave because I don't know what it does. And as much as it would be great to open up the doorway for the protesters to get through, I think that might be a bad idea currently. You see faded industrial lettering on the platform. Kvalsund. I think maybe we'll open it up on our way back. We're an idiot. The shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. The speaker tower is silent. There is no work to organise in the yard below. Give me that money. We're not far off of being able to pay for our room in the morning. The musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. That's locked. Industrial sized thermos. Smells like burnt coffee. Container. The banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. White waves on red.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the logos on. Container, container, used to be Walpines. Container, container, now belongs to Everett.
The tiny man is so engaged in his work, he doesn't even notice you. Hi.
Everett, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an asshole for no apparent reason.
I see you're not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
A shadow passes over his kind face. What is it with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks are just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
What are you doing with the containers? Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them. He waves at the containers towering behind him. What's going on here? Look at the mountains. Let me ask you about something else. Let's see if we can improve our logic in any way. No, we cannot. So we either pass it or we fail it.
Mister, I need to be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did, and yes, I did. It's like Lady Larisse said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And a lot of folks really did keep coming back.
I have some questions for you if that's not too much trouble. What are you doing with the containers? What's going on here? Looks at the mountain of containers behind him. This is probably not going to go well. Oh, it did. The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountain rising behind Leo is all red in Union colours. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. This looks like a massive redecoration operation, Kim. Yeah, they're hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debardieu logo on them. Has anyone told you why you need to change the covers? No, not really, he shrugs, and continues merrily. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everybody. Thanks, Leo. You've been very helpful. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all, the little guy affirms merrily. Where is everyone? The harbour's empty. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. He leans in with a confidential look. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. We haven't worked for 2 months now. So no one is working. Not everyone is down there, of course, he chuckles. Mr. Everett is in his office, where he always is, and Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. He pauses to think. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble, and Everett sent them on a nice vacation for a week or so. He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into? I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. He smiles and leans closer. Him and his boys stirred something up in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off. Don't go all bad cop on this simply friendly fellow. What did they actually do? I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. Don't really know the details. That's just how the boys are, you know. Another chuckle. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school. Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hardies. He looks to you for assistance. Too rowdy, Leo. What kind of a fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary? Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving and words are spewing forth. Words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... Nope, he already switched to a priced fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions. Do you work here? Yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way, Leonard Bennock. But everyone calls me Leo. The little man raises his hand in a welcoming gesture. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away, he chuckles. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady. A good-hearted chuckle again. Who is this Miss Beaufort? Lieutenant looks up at Leo. A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douin Sucre like candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done, and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running. Yes I am, yes I am. Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic. Who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned? Ah, Lizzie, she's a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighbourhood, knows everybody and gets along with everybody. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes. He goes on. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has, he sighs, and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes. I think you're doing a great job, Leo. Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo. The lieutenant smiles at the little man. Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. You didn't think it was possible, but the smile becomes even wider. Sometimes I feel like some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here, but you guys are all right. The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinez, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day. Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners? Oh, yes, he replies excitedly. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. What was that about the borscht? Oh yes, I've been talking about special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. The little man chuckles merrily. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so happy and warm. He shakes his head with a wide smile. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renoir's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Power borscht, Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however. What do you mean by taking this soup to the men? Is it for striking? Yes, I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the Whirling rags. Who makes it at the Whirling? The cook, he makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Mignano in the weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Gard. Looks like the borscht is spiked. Oh sure, Mr. Shaw, the little guy nods. You do that. What's in the container over there? Point to the container suspended from the crane arm. Oh, that one. He looks at the container. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. I'm looking for the leader of the Dock Workers Union. Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighbourhood, he coughs, and continues immediately. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were just boys. Easy now, Leo. Just want to know where I can find this man. Mr. Everett is usually in his office, of course. He points to the 2 joint containers to your right. But you've got to be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 10 o'clock. Okie dokie. This is an office. Maybe we'll have a little snoop about that red container then. The coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. A stair made of pallets leading up. No, let's have a look at this first. A taxidermy fish that tells the time. Good. Hello, sir. Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite to his giant desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debaucheurs Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, then the chair. Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. He's trying to throw off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure. Don't sit. It's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
He turns back to his typewriter. You're no titan of volition, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives you a sly wink. Will remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarges Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again. That's 25 real. That's good money. Think of the stuff you could... Keep it. I'm good.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then.
He crosses his arms on his ample midsection and sinks further into his chair.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun.
Oh. His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. How do you know about my lost gun?
I know everything, Harry. Right now I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
We cannot change our clothes currently. Don't panic. We're going to panic. God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you've lost your gun and those children are going to shoot themselves with it. No, I'm not about to cry. Try to stay cool. I don't think trying to stay cool is going to work out for us.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What's with this Mr. Dubois he keeps repeating? What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some sort of stupor. Let your mind go to the safe place. While Everett is distracted by your odd behaviour, the lieutenant's eyes are mapping everything around you. The folder, desk, papers on the wall.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hand somehow, in a kind of throwing motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois. No, I'm good as it gets, Mr. Dubois. Gesture vaguely with your hands above your head.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him a question. Police officer question. It's about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in? Harry, he says almost gently. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia, a man your age. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with. Yes, Harry, you are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you I am a very well informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Let's talk about this hanging. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. He nods. I know everything that goes around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. I sense there's a but. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open. Oh, yes, that sounds good, the lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Suddenly, he slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're gonna open this one with flying colours, Harry, he chuckles. This really is very simple and there's nothing shady about it. Why don't you just open it yourself? Harry, I'm a very busy man and more importantly, I don't have the extraordinary physique you do. He slams his fists together. You look like you could run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you? I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsurugi. And therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. He turns back to you. So what would it be, Harry? Whose door is it? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by a weasel? A loud, blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. He removes his glasses and rubs his nose. I'm guessing it's the smoking gentleman from the balcony. Just go there, unlock the door and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. He puts his glasses back on. I bet you don't even know about the hanging. Harry, my dear friend, he sinks deeper into the chair. I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Will you accept the task? Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done, and we can take our friendship to the next level. He flicks his fingers. Open the apartment door. You can get the key from Mañana. He's down by the gates. Mañana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations, hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he panned it all out. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. You call me Mr. Dubois, why? Of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You can call me Everett. I'll call you Harry. So that's really my name? My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it. But you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? He shrugs with an amazed expression. What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that, he looks at you, are very low. It's true. My memory is a bit hazy. I assure you there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends and the good news is... He taps on the folder in front of him. I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out? Don't trust him. For all you know, Dubois might be his name. You need to confirm this. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. He pauses to look down on a brown folder on his desk. And you are probably right. I can. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? The lieutenant inspects Everett over his spectacles. Mr. Kitsurugi, would you mind? His eyes never leave yours. Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. What's my full name? It's Harry. He glances at the folder. Harry Dubois. You feel like a Dubois, but you don't feel like a Harry. You don't feel like any of these things. You know what your name is. You have a sophisticated name, like that of a count, or a beautiful man. Wait. My name is Raphael Costel. Fine, Harry. He waves you off. You can even be Harry de Raphael Dubois de Costeau, or whatever you choose to be. The lieutenant covers his face and sighs audibly. Mr. Kitsurugi doesn't even seem slightly empathetic towards your memory loss. He frowns at Kim. I, however, wish to help you in any way I can. Where did you get that folder? Ah, this. He closes the folder. My friends in your organisation gave it to me, Harry. I find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsurugi. I'm sure you understand. He turns back to you. Please continue, Harry. Do you know where I live? But of course, Harry, he nods. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or... Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? I think I do. I think I'd be a wonderful father. Well, yes. He looks around uninterested. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or girl a very happy and proud one day, Harry. What kind of cop does it say I am? Well, Harry, he turns a couple of pages in the folder. If I were to sum you up in one word, it would be... apologetic. I'm... sorry? Yes, he inspects you over his giant bug-eyed glasses. You seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be. Let loose a little, be you. It cannot be retried. I need to... my drama went down. Let's talk of other matters for a moment. I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again. I will be back when I've got changed. Wait, he leans, reaches over to his drawer and pulls out a plastic card. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Ah, thanks. I was wondering how I'm supposed to get out. Here. You're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry. We needed to increase our drama. What gave us drama? Nothing, but something took away our drama. So, we'll save it for later. Can we increase our drama? Not massively. I don't think the opportunity is really going to come up. It might just have to be one of those things that we don't get to do.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you're already sat on that chair.
I wanted to go over a couple of things about me. Maybe not. Let's talk about my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. His face turns serious. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. He winks at you. It's just a matter of time and effort. The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Wait, the gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in? Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed, he makes air quotes, factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez. It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting. Does this mean if I do things for you, I'll get my gun back? Damn it, Harry, that's exactly what it means. He turns to the lieutenant. I'm only kidding, of course. He is not. Of course, the lieutenant replies dryly. I understand. We help you, you help us. I'm looking into your shady brew. I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation. I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me whatever it is. Do it. Surprise me. He reconsiders. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier. I met Joyce, the company representative. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't got around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. He adjusts a button on his sleeve. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not the kind of union versus corporation situation. This is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Just pals. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. His smile widens. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her, because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. That's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Galmont? What do you mean, Harry? The big man sounds annoyed. Nothing, I let him go. He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally let that go? He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. He looks down and sighs. God knows how long he's got left. You called him a midget. Harry, he exclaims. I have little people in my organisation. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. Abruptly, he smiles and changes his tone. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. It's hard to say if he really lost his temper or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visibly. Are you sure? I find it a little odd. I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. He slams his fist into his hand. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Okay then, positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions. You said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. The man frowns disapprovingly. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Everett Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her. Yes, lowballing, of course. He's suddenly very serious. This is a... What? Yes, lowballing, of course. He's suddenly very serious. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here, but everything's a casino for those rich types. His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behaviour. Why haven't you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would, and I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. He doesn't want to see her, it's as simple as that. Let's talk about something else. Harry, let me just assure you one more time, it's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organisation. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember this. None of this, he makes an all-encompassing gesture, is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. He looks around. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind. This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay. See you soon, Debardier. The big man raises his hand in farewell. Just kidding, but not too much. What an odd bloke. Is there anything else to discuss?
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time.
Okay. Well, I think that's a satisfactory place to leave this episode. We have obtained nothing of real interest. We have some more quests. Open a door and the special borscht. So that was what we will explore on our next episode. Thanks very much for joining us again. Don't forget to press the like button. We're not going to hit anything today. We're not going to smash anything for sure. Press the like button. Press that subscribe button. Drop a comment with any criticism. I need the criticism. I need the positivity if you've got it for me. I really appreciate you watching the video if you've watched the video from start to finish. check under the description for our Twitch link and join us on a live stream sometime. We have a lot of fun. We shoot a lot of people in the face. We play some silly games. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Take care. See you again. Bye.